What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to more C4, your home for all things Philadelphia Eagles. Got a bummer here. Originally, I had a video coming up today that was a post-combine 7-round Eagles mock. I'm going to push that to tomorrow because there was breaking news for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it was something that was looming. Not a surprise, but sucks nonetheless, as they have released, or will release after June 1st, Darius Slay, who, since I've been a fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, has been the most talented corner, I think, I've seen wear an Eagles uniform. It's really between him, maybe Asante Samuel could be in that conversation. Different type of player. Asante Samuel was a ball hawk. Slay was shut down. Not old enough to remember like the Troy Vincent, Eric Allen years or anything like that. I mean, the best I had was like Lito Shepherd, Sheldon Brown, and then that went to Asante Samuel. We had the Nnamdi Asomugha, Byron Maxwell. Felt like Philly, for a point in time, was a wasteland. We could never get corner right. The Kerry Williams years. Oh, God bless, like the Nolan Carrolls that tried their best. Bradley Fletcher. Ugh. Some of these. Orlando Scandrick. Remember we got him off the street? Oh, man. But then we got Slay. A couple years ago, 2020 season. Darius Slay wanted out of the Detroit Lions. Howie Roseman gave up a 3rd and 5th round pick. This is after we got absolutely screwed. You know, we had the Golden Tate debacle. Like, can we trade with the Lions? Is it fool's gold? Are the Lions smart knowing when to get rid of some of these players? And I mean, at that time, like, you think about Howie Roseman and how he finesses teams and his trade targets. 29 years old for Slay is a little old for Howie Roseman to be targeting a player. But he took a swing that Slay would finally solve our massive issue at finding a lockdown corner. And we got some outstanding play out of Darius Slay since he was here. 5 years in Philly, 7 in Detroit. In his 5 years in Philly, 9 interceptions, 56 BBUs. Made a couple Pro Bowls. I mean, Pro Bowl is what it is. It's not like it was in like the 2000s when it was like really something you could hold your hat on to. But those were legit Pro Bowls for Slay. Not making them off of name value. Absolutely deservedly so. And, every bit played up to expectation. Even this year, 67 PFF grade's not bad. I mean, he's old. He's an old man at this point, 34 years old. And it felt like this season his job was to, can you still start at a reasonable level, at a starting level? Yes. Can you mentor Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Keely Ringo, these young defensive backs we have? And that's exactly what he did. Quinyon Mitchell in particular seemed like they had a great chemistry, a great bond, great mentorship relationship. And Quinyon Mitchell was arguably the defensive rookie of the year this year. Cooper DeJean was also probably 3rd place in defensive rookie of the year voting behind Jared Verse. I think you got to give some of that credit to Darius Slay. And we call him Darius Slay. It's Slay. I'm going to miss him, man. The word is maybe he'll come back. Lower number. Because, I mean, if you look at the Eagles team, how we're assembled, the corner room, the depth that we have, Slay's kind of starting to become the odd man out at that price point. Now, if we release him, he wants to come back, I think he will entertain offers. Baltimore wanted him last year. Maybe that'll be on the table again. He talked about on the St. Brown podcast, maybe going back to Detroit now that the vibes have changed there. That could happen. That'd be a cool story for him. Finish his career out with the Detroit Lions after cashing out with the Eagles. I would like to bring him back for 1 year. He could definitely still start. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not lockdown corner 1 anymore. Maybe you probably view Quinyon Mitchell as our corner 1. But like, if you told me right now at a good figure for the salary cap, Quinyon Mitchell, Slay, DeJean in the slot next season, I'm all about that. But for the Philadelphia Eagles, at Darius Slay's cap hit, when we have the Keely Ringos, who has shown some promise, right? You got to look at Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, it felt like every time he kicked, Slay was banged up. Slay was in and out of the lineup last year consistently throughout the season, multiple games. That's what happens at 34 years old. But it felt like every time he came out and Isaiah Rodgers came in, teams were trying to pick on him, and he was making plays. He ended up with a 76th grade, 20th overall for corners in the league. A couple bad plays on Isaiah Rodgers, but there's also an element of, like, he always came off the bench. Was there any, he had 1 start maybe last year? So I feel like if Philly views this as Isaiah Rodgers is going to be our starting corner, we're going to go Rodgers, we're going to go Quinyon. I don't think there's any way they want to move Cooper DeJean out of the slot. Slot's a starting position in today's NFL. Maybe, though. Maybe Vic's like, let's put Cooper on the outside. I think That would level up the exciting whites a little bit if we go with Quignon and Cooper DeJean on the outside. But if I had to guess how this is all going to break out, I think Vic is going to be like, we got Rodgers, re-sign him, make sure he comes back. We got Keely Ringo, who can get more snaps. We got Eli Ricks, who has shown up a couple times throughout his career. Like, maybe you get him a little bit more involved in the lineup. But sucks, man. This is, it also makes you feel old. Like, oh, remember when Slay was still right? This is probably the best moment, though, I think, of Slay. Thinking of all the plays, all the picks, all the pick sixes, the time he shut down Justin Jefferson when no one was shutting down Justin Jefferson, that was the personification of what he meant to this team, what he meant to that position that was always terrible for the Philadelphia. We finally had a corner that we felt great about. And time again, and none more so when the lights were brightest against the great Justin Jefferson, did Slay. He would have been, 31, 32 when this happened? Just like, I'm going to strap that up. I'm going to get a pick. You ain't getting nothing. Like, no one dominated Justin Jefferson that year like Darius Slay. Government names only. Slay, man. Sucks. It's what happens, though. It's a circle of life for a roster. Slay's all-time. If I'm making an all-time Philadelphia Eagles lineup in that secondary, he's first name in the corner room. It's Slay, it's Asante Samuel, it's Alito Shepard. You get Sheldon Brown. Honestly, at this point, you go Quignon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are already making that all-star team, making that DB secondary. Remember when Kerry Williams was the best we had? Remember Kerry Williams? Remember we thought Brandon Boykin was going to be great? No, they all failed. They all couldn't get the job done. And then we got Slay, and the rest is history. And I think the legacy for Slay, if this is the end, if he goes back to Detroit to kind of finish that all off, if he goes somewhere else, I think he'll be remembered as maybe, it's arguable, the most talented corner Philly's ever had. And his impact, he's always going to be associated with Quignon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. He was the mentor. He was the old head. The same way that when we talk about Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, it's going to be what Fletcher Cox did for them. We're going to talk about that for Slay with this elite tandem that we have in Quignon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Every time Quignon makes a play, every time Cooper DeJean makes a play, every time one of these guys makes an All-Pro, every time one of these guys makes a Pro Bowl, we're going to go shout out Slay, man. Slay got these guys ready. That's all you can do. That's all you can do in that veteran role, and he did it to an absolute T. And I'm happy that he can leave Philadelphia, if this truly is the end, as a champion. So let me know what you guys think. What was your favorite play of Darius Slay? For me, it's this one when he shut down Justin Jefferson against the Vikings. That was probably my favorite game, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Reminiscing. Do you think this is the end for Slay? Do you think this is going to be one of those wishful thinking scenarios where you let him go at this cap number, let him test the open market? Hopefully it's not crazy, and all things equal, Philly gives him kind of a, hey, we'll take you back for one more year. Let's finish this thing off type deal. Would you welcome him back? Do you think he's going to Detroit? Let me know in the comment section below. That'll do for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya. Have a good one. Shout out Slay, man. Legend.